Welcome back to Court TV Live. We have been watching testimony in the Benefield trial out of Florida. They are at lunch for another half hour or so. Gives us a chance to check in on some other cases that we're watching. We're going to turn our attention now to Massachusetts, where it is day 2 of jury selection in the trial for defendant Christine Ricci.
Ricci faces multiple charges, including murder in connection to the fatal stabbing of her husband, who was a veteran firefighter in Boston, Michael Ricci. He died at their home back in January of 2021.
Ricci says she was defending herself. We are on a run of these cases where the defendants are all saying that they killed their husbands in self-defense. This one is that she says that he was attacking her and she was in fear for her life. Prosecutors disagree, saying there's no evidence that her life was in danger.
As we gear up for this trial, let's take a closer look at the case against Christine Ricci.
49-year-old Christine Ricci is accused of murdering her husband on January 28, 2021. She allegedly stabbed 51-year-old Michael Ricci with a kitchen knife. He was a Boston firefighter for 23 years. They shared 3 children, and it was their 16-year-old who called 911 to report the stabbing. Local station WBZ was at Ricci's arraignment, which made headlines when she fainted in court.
Your Honor, Miss Ricci having a medical emergency. Come on.
All rise. Fortunately,
Ricci has pled not guilty. She told police Michael was experiencing a manic episode. She was afraid and grabbed a 5-inch knife to scare him, but she says he lunged at her and the knife went into his chest. Prosecutors say no records exist to support claims of Michael being manic. He had 2 stab wounds, one to the left side of his chest and the other in the back shoulder. Neighbors were surprised to hear of the circumstances around Michael's death. Here is WBZ.
Anybody around here will tell you they were in total disbelief that this could happen. I don't know what happened. I just have no idea if there was history or I don't have a clue.
There is evidence that suggests the couple's marriage was in trouble. Their children reportedly told investigators their parents had volatile arguments. Ricci's defense says there's more to the case than what the prosecution is alleging, and Michael's death is the tragic outcome that resulted from a domestic confrontation. All right, still with us, Marie Pereira. Marie, this is another one. Now we're kind of 3 in a row here on Court TV, where you have a wife killing the husband and claiming self-defense. Each case is so different, and your overall take on this one is they try to pick a jury. It's day 2 of jury selection up there in Massachusetts.
I think with this case, as with any self-defense case, she has to plant the idea that it was reasonable for her to be that afraid of him, so that during a confrontation, a conversation that made her uncomfortable, it was reasonable based on her perspective to feel her life was in danger, and she pulled out a knife. She just has to lay that foundation of prior abuse, current feeling that her life was in danger, and justify it with facts. And she may have to take the stand and explain it, because in these cases, the jurors want to hear from the person who's claiming this affirmative defense so that they can assess to see, was this for real or was this just a murder?
They're going to bring in terms of the prosecution, people to testify about the fights that were going on between them, where you had the defendant in this case, the wife, accusing the husband of cheating on her, and evidence that there might have been this affair. She's claiming that he's manic, Marie, in this moment. Do you think that there's any reasoning behind that? If there's not a lot of evidence of abuse that's documented, saying that in this moment that he essentially lost it, that she knew that he was prone to this, how do you think that's different from just an argument that he had been abusive and was going to be abusive in this moment?
When you have abuse and then you add in a history of documented mental illness, which she hasn't proven so far, we don't know, but based on what I heard so far from you guys, there's no proof medically that he had a mental illness. But she wants us to believe he did, because then it would justify that he just went off on her. She got scared and pulled a knife. But if you're talking about now a jealousy situation, that he was cheating on her, that doesn't help her, because it makes a motive. There's a thin line between love and hate. And if a man cheats on you, you could want to kill that man out of jealousy, hate, resentment, but still love him after the fact. It happens. That's what's going on here, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.